Okay, Ron here again, Ratchet Cycle. Customers 2000 Harley Davidson 1200 Custom Sportster. This thing came to us plagued with electrical issues. Not sure what had happened here. When we got it, the first story I got was it had been in another guy's shop or a buddy's place for over a year or something like that, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. You know, they've seen a couple things. There's a new battery cable coming off that starter down there. It doesn't really fit. I'll show you on the other side. A couple little odds and ends that they had going on there. Not certain what had happened to this thing, but it did have a little evidence that it had been submerged in water at one time. I had to pull the primary. The starter ended up being bad. Had to pull that primary off, and when I did, what came out of there looked like milk. And most of the evidence is gone now. There's a little bit left here. If you look, try not to get that light. If you can see that rust and stuff, you know, around those caps and on the spark plug itself. I know that can be common to some of them, but this was really bad. Before we actually cleaned that off a little bit there. But when you pulled the spark plug boots off, it was just white. It was so corroded, it wasn't even funny. I don't even know how the thing ever did run that way. But anyway, the customer's bringing us a battery today. He's supposed to be picking this thing up, bringing us a new battery. Anyway, behind that panel right there is your fuses and a lot of electrical stuff, relays and things like that. Most of you guys that work on this stuff know that they got a main hot wire coming off the ignition switch, going to the first fuse, and then what it does is from there it jumps from fuse to fuse to fuse, if you can picture a little wire jumper going across there. And so we had several shorts. One was in the light, one of the blinkers, and also one was in an indicator light or something like that. Well, all that stuff was tied together with that loop. So when somebody had already taken the harness and stripped it before and was trying to find, and you could see where they were poking all over the place, they probably were going crazy trying to figure it out. Well, as long as the fuses were in there, and yeah, as long as the fuses were in the box, then it showed that the entire bike was basically shorted out. So when you pulled all the fuses out, you could kind of isolate it. And like I said, we had a little problem where they had something spliced in from the rear to front, left turn signals and some other stuff like that. But anyway, that was one of the problems. I'm not sure what caused all the problems, but we found several shorts. The starter itself was bad, and that was even showing, since that was still hooked up, was showing a lot of shorts, you know, everywhere else. But anyway, finally got this thing straightened out. Now it starts and runs. All the lights work and all that good stuff. And the customer's supposed to be here in a little while to pick it up. So anyway, just when you're running across electrical stuff, just try to isolate areas. Yeah, and if you leave stuff hooked up and you're trying to test it, you know, obviously you can get a false reading or something. You know, if you got something jumping or if the fuses are still in. So anyway, I had a couple people asking about what all we did and what else we had going on. So this beautiful machine is supposed to be leaving here today. So anyway, that's about a wrap on that one. So thanks for watching. Ron with Ratchet Cycle.